Hello everybody. All right, I have a new setup and I've got one of those nice circle lights. So I'm kind of above my phone right now, checking it out and making sure it looks semi-straight. So it's up higher. So hopefully that's better. I can't make it go any lower, but I can zoom. So this is the super ooper cutesy wootsy little layout that we're going to do today, and it has a really cool interactive feature to it. And so we can just take this little tab and reveal a hidden picture, which I love that. This is my daughter Kelsey, and I'm just going to hold this up so that you can really see how crazy her face is here, and that's part of the reason why I chose to hide that one, because it's cute, but you know, it's a fun surprise. So there's that. That's what we're going to work on. I'm going to grab a couple of supplies. I have everything is pre-cut, except a couple of things. So while I'm waiting for everybody to get their notifications going, I'm going to get the other things going that I wanted. So I know that I need a little stopper here for my tray in here. So the one that I used, I believe, was 4 1/4. By 4 1/4. So I'm just gonna get that ready. So this will hold 4 4x4 photos. You could do 3x4 if you wanted to. So then you could get some more in here. So you would have 4 3x4 photos plus the hidden one, so 5. So you could make it work that way if you have one of those mathematical brains that can just visualize it and see it. And then I need a couple pieces of this. So we know that one is at 4, one's at 4 1/4. And one's at 3. .75 and 3 1/4. Okay. Just wrapping up a couple of loose ends before we get going here. So it uses about like 1 12x12 if I'm just doing it this way. This does come as a double layout, so you could totally do this as a 2-page layout. But since I really wanted to focus on this technique right here, I will do the other side in a picture and just show you, because it's not, it's just a layout. Like, you could copy it from the picture for sure. 3 1/4. So there's all my pieces for that. And then I just need a white daisy piece somewhere. There it is. This will be our base that we're going to use for this layout. And then the last thing I need is a track. So then my track is going to be, so the track is the piece that goes on the back that this is in, so it's, you know, it doesn't just pop out or go wonk-eyed or what have you. And so the track that goes in the back, it's this long. It's this wide. It's 12 long by 5. So that's all I'm going to do, is just kind of get that track cut out and give everybody just a sec to pop in. And you're going to need some 1/4" 3D foam tape. That's going to be important. If you have bigger, then you need to cut your track bigger, or your picture's going to have to be smaller. We'll go all over that here shortly. So let me fire up the laptop. I should have gave you guys a warning, but I didn't. Sorry about that. All right, we're gonna get started. So the first thing that we're gonna start with is our base page. Our base page is just your whatever, it's going to get covered. So if you have ugly paper and you want to use your ugly paper and it's cardstock, like retired cardstock, maybe you didn't like the color or what have you, perfect to use that. You're going to want a 4x12 piece. This is where your pictures are going to go. And we're going to start by adhering this down first. So you want to grab your adhesive and get this put down, and we're actually going to cut through this, and I'm going to do sunflowers on this one, and flip it around from the one that I did the other one. So the other one I did like the sunflowers and the trim. Uh-oh, I can hear my daughter, my bossy 3-year-old. All right, so we are going, we're going to put this at 4. So right in the center. This is going to get covered up. This piece right here is going to get covered up, so it doesn't even matter what side you use, okay? So again, if you have ugly paper, use your ugly paper. So let me run upstairs and shut the door really quick. Sorry about that. Okay, so this piece is going to get covered up with your pictures. So I have my pictures here picked out, and 1, 2, 3. I need one more for, I thought I had one more. I do. It's right here. Here we go. So these are the pictures that I have. I'm going to cut them down. They need to be 4x4. So I'll just cut them down really quick. And then you just need to determine which picture you want to be like your surprise picture, if you will. The one that pops out. I love the little cutouts at this little pumpkin patch place that we went. I had like the cutest little cutouts. So I think what I'll do is this will be my pop out one, and then these will be the ones that stay on there. So the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to put down these borders, and I'm going to do this for a reason, because we're going to use these for a cutting guide. Okay, so it's and I'll show you what I mean by that in just one second. So you want to make sure that your paper's straight on your grid if that's what you're using. So I'm just going to line this up really quick and make sure it's nice and straight, so that my measurements when I line up these guys, okay? So you're going to create a window, kind of. All right, and so I'm just butting these strips up to this main piece that I have in here. So I know that my picture, so I've got like a little template right here. I know that my picture is 4x4, and I'm going to grab a little pencil, and I'm just going to butt this right up to the edge of my scrapbook paper, okay? And I have to decide if I want my element to slide from this way, or if I want it to slide this way, okay? If I want to slide it left, or if I want to pull it from the right, okay? Because that determines how we cut our paper. So if I want it to come from the left, or from the right going to the left, then I'm going to want to make a backwards C cut. If I want it to come from the left and go to the right, then I want to cut a C this way, okay? I hope that makes sense. I think it will once you see what we're working with here. So I'm going to have this come out so that I'm going to pull it this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my template right here. And I'm going to butt it up to the edge of the page, okay? And I'm going to put a line here. And I'm just going to put like a little tick mark here and here. Those are my stopping points. I'm going to grab my paper trimmer. If you have an X-Acto knife and a self-healing mat, you're more than welcome to use that. I'm going to use my trimmer. I'm going to come in here. The first cut that I'm going to make is I'm going to line up that pencil mark that I've made showing the end of one photo and the beginning of another. I'm going to line it right up with my cutter. And I'm going to move this in, and I'm just going to cut right to where these two pattern papers meet, okay? You can kind of feel when it hits that other piece. All right, let me make sure that I went exactly where I wanted to. Yep. Now I'm going to turn it in long ways. I'm going to put this over here. And what I'm looking for now is I'm looking for my wire guide to kind of meet up so that it's right in between these pattern papers, which that's why I did two contrasting colors so that it makes it a little bit easier to see. So let me get my hair in here a little bit, sorry. So I'm gonna kind of start here and just kind of back up and just slowly until I feel that hit where I already previously cut. And then remember that tick mark that I made right up here. So I'm going to take this all the way up to that tick mark. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side over here. So I'm just going to make sure it's lined up evenly all the way around. It's exactly where I want it to go. I'm going to start until I feel it kind of catch where I cut already, and then go right up to that tick mark. Another thing that I'm doing is I can see this tick mark and I kind of am looking to see what line it correlates with over here on my ruler on my board. So that's kind of what I'm using too. And if you're not comfortable going all the way, you don't have to. You can just pick your scissors up, right? And just finish that little cut to the tick mark if you need to. You can clean up any little strays that you might have or what have you. If you have any pencil marks, now is a really good time to erase them. I prefer to use a white eraser just so, because like if I use a color one, like the end of the blue one that was end of this pencil, it might leave some sort of smudge mark or something of that nature. Whereas the white is less likely to leave colored marks. And honestly, I don't really even have to do that because guess what? It's all going to be covered anyways. So I'm just putting that down because I'm not always generous with my adhesive. Okay, so now I can come in with my pictures and the ones that I pre-cut. So we'll put these here and we'll put Pumpkins Ahoy in the middle, and then this will be my surprise one that I'm gonna do. This is that like 4 1/4 one that we cut off camera here in the beginning. So I'm gonna butt this right up to the edge. just like that. Then I can put this one right next to it. Probably don't need this much adhesive. I just told you I'm pretty not, I don't use a whole lot of it. And then I put the whole thing on. And then I just want to make sure that that just went on that little flap that I cut out, and it did. So it's perfect. Love it. It's working great. All right, and then we'll add the last one. So this would be a typical layout, right? And so this fun little element kind of takes it up a notch. And then I'll just butt this one right up to the edge of my paper, and everything should come in and line up really nicely. All right, so here is where my paper is. I think I meant for it to go this way, didn't I? You know what? It's fine. So this means that my pulley is going to come this way, right? This is how it's going to come. So what I want to do is I'm going to line this up on my little guide right here, flush to one edge. I'm sorry, to the left side of the edge, right? Because that's where this is going to come out, and I don't want this border. If you want the border, then center it. It's perfectly fine. Whatever you want. I don't want the border. I want it to flow, you know, like it's going right along with the other pictures. And this will end up being a stopper. Or I might cut it off like I did on the original. Okay, so again, I'm going to sort of do my best to center this. This is 4 1/4, so I should have a little bit on each side left over, and flush on the left. Okay, and then that's right. I should have a little lip over here. Okay, so this is going to come in, and it should, very awesome. This is working out great. Okay, so I have a Cricut file, and in my Cricut file, I have this little tab. You could use, I can't share my Cricut file with you, and I apologize for that. I didn't realize it until after I'd already had it cut. This is an SVG file that Close to My Heart sells, and so you have to buy it because it's an SVG file. If I share it, you can just have it for free, and it kind of defeats that purpose. So I am not allowed to share this with you. So you'll have to just purchase it from my website, which is only, I think you can buy this one separately, and it's only $1, or it may just be a part of like my Happiest Place collection. I'll have to go look and double check for you. But in there is this little tab, and the left side of the picture layout is in there. It's a huge pumpkin, you know, for us to do the left side. This would technically be the right side. Now, when I cut this, I need to resize it because you can see that my title is just a little bit bigger than what I wanted. You know, it kind of interacts, or, you know, covers up that and I don't want it to get caught on those. So I just went through and did a little snippy snip and took care of business. And you never know the difference, right? And then I'll just clean it up a little bit right here. And right there. So these pieces will go here, and this will go up here, but we're not quite ready for that yet. I just kind of wanted to talk to you about that. But I do want to put this tab on. So when I put this tab on, I'm just going to use liquid glass or Tombow. I really like Tombow. And a little bit kind of goes a long way. And then just figure out a good spot that you want it. Of course, I put my finger right in it, of course. And I'll just put it right here. Fold it over and just hold it for, you know, a second or so to get it to set up. Not too big of a deal, right? It doesn't take too long. Now you have your little pull tab right there. There you got little pieces for your track. I love this. It's turning out so nice. Okay, so now we have those other two pieces that I cut earlier, which this is going to go here and here. Right? Oop, I had them backwards. Or I cut them too small, one or the other. One's too big, one's too small. We'll fix it. No worries. So we'll put those two pieces on, and then we'll put the backing on, and I'll show you how to do that really quick. I wonder how I did that. Oh well. What we'll do is we'll just put some adhesive on the base page, like so. And once I have it on, I'll put it in my trimmer and just trim the excess off. And that should be the exact filler that I need for down there. It should blend pretty easily. If not, there are no mistakes, just room for embellishments, right? I just got some really pretty, because, you know, Close to My Heart doesn't really do ribbon right now for some reason. So I just got some really cute ribbon from Amazon. So I have no problem glamming this up with a little bit of ribbon. Let's see if that's enough. No, it's not. Yes, it is. It's too much of a difference. That's all right. We'll put some ribbon on. See? We'll do that before we get this back piece going. And that's okay. I want them to look a little different anyways, because my girls are not the same. So what I'm going to do, since I have that gap, I'm just going to line it up with the bottom of my page using my nail and my finger as a guide. And then I'll grab some ribbon. I have some really pretty yellow ribbon here, so I'll just use that. And it should theoretically fit right there. It's really yellow. It's too yellow for me, but I do have this really old fern. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this instead. That was really bright and yellow. It's pretty, but not the pretty yellow that I would like. So what I'm going to do is just kind of put some adhesive over here and over here so I can tuck the ends of that over. And it fills that gap in nicely, and only you guys will know the difference. So I'm going to put this down, but I don't want to pull so tight that it pulls on the edge of my page and then, you know, it buckles in, but I don't want it to like wrinkle or whatever. I really like this. And, I really like this ribbon. I wish they wouldn't have gotten rid of it. So now I'll put a little pressure on it to get it to stick on those places where I put adhesive. All right, so hopefully that doesn't mess too much. Kind of does. Okay, we'll have to eyeball that one. Okay, so now we've got this stuff done. This looks great. We've got a little window. Now we need to make the track so that our, you know, photo doesn't fall out. And this is really easy. So what you're going to do is you've got this 5 by 12 piece, and you're going to take your 3D foam tape. So I have that 1/4 inch piece. And if you have a bigger strip like the 1/2 inch, okay, you're going to want to make this bigger so that your track stays the same. So I hope that makes sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm just as close as possible going to line this up without going over to the edge of my page here. So I'm just trying to use my fingers as a guide, and the difference in color between the matte and the tape. So we did a pretty good job. I really don't want to go in too much. That's why I'd rather, if anything happens, I'd rather have it spill over than go in, you know, because that's where my track is going to be. And if that does happen, if you get your tape in and it's too far in, you can, what I did when I first started making it is I made this piece. I started at 5, which is the length of this. I made my track and then trimmed it down as necessary, right? Because we can always cut paper away, but it's really hard, as you saw, to add paper in. So this is going to be my track, right? And so this is going in here. And I'll show you how to put that in before we close it off. So this piece fits exactly between here and here on the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pencil, right? And I'm going to look at it, and it's probably harder for you to see it than me. Oh man, this whole time. I've had this extra light, and this whole time I didn't even have it on. Okay, so where these two pieces meet, I'm going to take like a little tick mark, okay, on both pieces. And so it makes it just a tad bit difficult where this is. So I'm just going to pull this up a little bit, kind of make that tick mark go down, and then fold it over, and I can still see like right where it is. Okay, I'm going to do the same on the other side. And what I'm doing is, it's this piece right here, these two pieces, not these two pieces, these two pieces. Okay. This is going to help give me a visual guide so that when I did it on the wrong one on this one. No, I did it on the right one. That was right. So when I put my guide down, it doesn't go in the wrong spot. So the reason why I tell you to do that is because you can see here, I was up almost 1/4 of an inch. And the reason why I didn't take it off so I could see where I made that mistake. And so that's why I'm doing the tick marks like I am, because it gives me a very good guide on where I need to put this, because this stuff is unforgiving. And so by unforgiving, I mean that once it's down, it is so very, very hard to get it up. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure this is straight. I used a Cricut tool to get it up when I made my mistake, but it's not always that easy to do. Okay. And then it just has a little hangover, and I'm okay with that. I can trim that off easily. It didn't happen on my first one, but we all know that sometimes paper can be different. There. Okay, so now I have my little opening here, and if I've done this correctly, I should have just enough track for this to fit, if I've done it correctly. Perfect. Look at that. So now, look how cute that is. Now we can fix this up a little bit like there. Oh, I love it. She's such a cutie. Okay, so now it's time to put my title on. So I'm going to do my happy place. They had pumpkins, and they also had sunflowers there, so that's why I did sunflowers. Of course, you could do whatever you wanted. So the SVG, this comes, it says my happy place. This is a heart instead of a pumpkin, and it has a roller coaster up for like Disney World. So all I did was ungroup the SVG that it came as. I removed the roller coaster portion, and I obviously removed the heart and added a pumpkin. So let's put those together. So my Tombow is like my best friend for this. So I'm just going to put that down, and then a little bit goes a long way. Yeah, I don't want it to buckle. I have a heavy hand when I do these things, so I'd rather take my dime and do a few little dots like this than get too much of it to come out by putting too much pressure on it, because I've been known to do that. So I'm going to put this here. I love it. Okay. And now we'll put place down. And this will be the right side of a 2-page spread. And I'll show you, like I said, in the next couple of days or so, what it looks like with that left side on it. I'll put that there. Just give it a minute to adhere down. Now I have my cute little picture that just slides right in. Now when this is in your memory protector, you don't have to worry about it falling out. Now let's talk about your memory protector. So you need to put it in, and when you put it in, what's going to happen is you're not going to be able to use it, right? And you're like, Danielle, why should I do this? You're going to cut your memory protector. So in order to cut that, you need to put it in your protector first. It's just caught on this little piece back here. So I'm going to wobble it in and flip it over and wobble it in so it doesn't get caught on the title. Perfect. So what you're doing, you're going to put it in your memory protector, and you're going to take a marker or any sort of thing that a dot will show up on it, okay? And you're just going to take and do that same sort of method that we did in the beginning. So you're going to mark here, here, and here, and you're just going to cut this square out so that you can make this go back and forth. So what I would do is, if this was a permanent marker, which I don't have one in my reach, I would put a dot here, a dot here, a dot here, and a dot here. I would take my layout back out. I will put a thick piece of cardboard or a resealable mat inside it, and then I would take my scissors and I would just go from dot to dot to dot to dot and cut out that center square, pop it out, put my layout back in, and now it is usable. So like I said, this is, look, they're so different. They're the same, but they're so stinking different, but they're so cute. I love this. So like I said, we'll be able to do that left side of the page. I'll put it in. It's literally a pumpkin that's like half the size over here. The same follow through with the pattern schematics, and then another place to put a couple of pictures in your journaling will go on that left side. So I hope you guys like this, and I hope you enjoyed watching just how to create that extra interactive element on here. I love to see what you guys would do. I love it when you guys post and you interact and you chit chat back and forth. So hopefully you guys are finding some entertainment within the group here, and that it's one of your places that you love to come to first. Okay, you guys are awesome, and I will see you on the flip side. Bye.